Uh, Welcome to the drive to the coffee shop. I don't know if you can tell just by looking out the window, but we're going in the opposite direction. It's an early day today, and so we're gonna go stop by Wormhole Coffee, which is a absolutely wonderful coffee shop up in Wicker Park, and we're gonna pick up some coffee for my upcoming trip to Oklahoma City. Which I am going to there for basic training 2 out of 3. It's going to be loads of fun, and yeah, that's just have to be enthusiastic about it, or I'm never going to get through it. No, it's actually really informative, and they really train us well. But it's just like, okay, we've gone over the same thing 50 million times. Can we please stop? Anyway, so today I wanted to talk about the placebo effect, which is something that came up in conversation recently with somebody. The thing is with the placebo effect is it's a term that's thrown around fast and loose, and people don't really, in general, people don't actually know what it means. The placebo effect, first of all, has nothing to do with wonder cures or the mind's ability to heal the body. It actually relates to efficacy and the how effective a particular treatment is. And by treatment, I mean not just medical treatment. I mean anything that you can do to a sample group. The placebo effect is referring to the efficacy of whatever treatment it is on whatever sample group you have. So it's quite often referred to as a justification for alternative medicine, saying that, if this alternative practice has, some sort of placebo effect, then it's valid because, people are getting better, even if it's just the placebo effect. Well, actually, that's not what the placebo effect is at all. The placebo effect does not affect a person's physiology or a plant's growth or a baby's recovery. The placebo effect is only in the mind of the observer, not in the mind of the observed or the body of the observed, just in the mind of the observer. Actually what the placebo effect turns out to be is just a form of confirmation bias. If, let's say, taking sugar pills has some sort of a placebo effect on headaches, and they're just sugar pills, they're just a placebo pill. If that has some sort of effect on headaches, it is the observer, either the person running the trial or the person who's self-reporting their headaches, as it getting better, right? So if there was an objective way to measure headaches, then you could go ahead and do that, and you could skip the person's perception and measure their headache almost as you would measure their temperature. But we can't do that. So if I take sugar pills for my headaches and they seem to be getting better, I'm the one observing the headaches, and I observe that when I take those sugar pills, my headaches go away. Well, that may or may not be true. If it is something like temperature, and taking sugar pills can lower the temperature of a fever, say, then the placebo effect is going to be acting upon whoever's conducting the trial. And they will be, if they're affected by this placebo effect, and they are doing improper statistical analysis and seeing a small correlation or even an imagined correlation and attributing it to whatever placebo pill the participant is taking. Because of this, the placebo effect is not a good excuse or any sort of it's not a good reason to use any sort of treatment specifically, it's a medical treatment. It's not a good justification for a medical treatment that does not work. You cannot say, oh, well, the placebo effect is helping them get better, and so, therefore, this is a good treatment. Well, the placebo effect is only a representation of the poor statistical analysis. They're not actually getting better. Otherwise, if they were getting better, that placebo pill would be an effective treatment for that, and it's not. Because when you go and do the statistical analysis, you see that it either is effective or it isn't effective. And the placebo effect is merely allowing or describing your conclusion that's incorrect. And, it really stinks that that's the way it is. The fact that the mind over body effect is, fairly powerful, but it only affects our perception of our body. For example, a person's mood does not affect in any way their recovery times from a particular traumatic event. Having a bad mood won't mean that your bones will heal slower, and having a good mood doesn't mean that you're going to recover from cancer with a greater that there's a greater chance of you recovering from cancer. But it can mean that your pain is perceived to be lower. If you have a broken bone, if you have a good mood, you're not going to notice that broken bone aching as much as you would if you're in a bad mood. And this is something that we see. We see this all the time. If you bump your knee, you rub your knee. That doesn't mean that rubbing your knee is a good, effective treatment of bruises. It just means that it helps you perceive the pain as being a bit less. And don't come after me and say that there may be some blood circulation that's being induced. I don't know. There may be a small amount of benefit from rubbing your knee, but in the end, your bruise really doesn't go away any faster, and so it's not an effective treatment. So I really hope that I've made this subject a little bit easier to understand, if not completely fogged it up for some of you. This is really a topic that I'm really interested in talking about, since it's very much a part of critical thinking. And if you know me at all, you know that I'm really, really big on good critical thinking skills. So if any of you, if I have, in all likelihood, completely confused any of you who are watching this, please let me know. I'd love to elucidate any details that I'm able to, because the placebo effect is really a big, really a misunderstood concept that's thrown here and there without any real appreciation for what it means. Because when it's not understood correctly, like every other statistical device, you're really losing a tool that could really be helping you. And so it's good to understand what the placebo effect is and all these other statistical devices. Alright, well, guys, that's it for today. Next week I am going to Oklahoma City. If anybody is in Oklahoma City who's watching this and would like to go get coffee, please let me know. I would love to go get coffee with you. If anybody knows any really good restaurants or anything, any sites they'd like me to check out, I will definitely make an effort to. I've already been to Bricktown, and I'm going back to Bricktown. I have seen the memorial and was spellbound. Really, really impressive. But I don't know if I'm going to have time to go see that again. But if you have any other suggestions, any specific restaurants or parts of town I need to go see, let me know, and I'll make an attempt to go check those out. Alright, you guys. Talk to you later.